We're back. Another video. Yeah, did a video about retired in Korea, but being retired in Korea or anywhere, sometimes you have a lot of time to doom scroll on Facebook, and yeah, that's what I ended up doing, and something got up my nose. Masking gym excuses, exposing the truth behind quitting. Um, you know what? If you want to quit, just quit. You don't need to make excuses. You don't need to make lies. You don't need to demonize people who do something that you used to do and then you quit to make yourself feel better. That doesn't work. That's a warped sense of reality to try to say, well, I was doing this, and then I found, I to make myself feel better, I'm going to demonize everybody else that used to, or still doing this, what I used to do, because I'm bored. Really? That's what we're doing now? We're going to talk about this. This is really interesting because I do some fitness stuff and I'm in pretty decent shape. I'm 6'2", 264, 265 pounds. I've got a little bit of muscle on me. Let me take a look at, let me see if we can find a recent photo. And, I do some fitness stuff from time to time. Where's a Yeah, well, you'll see it. You'll see the picture of me. But basically, what ends up is that if you want to quit, quit. Don't make excuses. Don't make lies. Especially don't lie or say something that somebody else did, which they clearly didn't, and use that as justification to try to make you feel good for being a loser or quitter, whatever it is. If you want to quit doing something, just quit. I have more respect for people that say, you know what, I tried this, I did it for short amount of time, long amount of time, whatever it is. It's just not my cup of tea, regardless of the benefits. I would have more respect for that. And if they just left it at that. And I have respect for pretty much everybody except for a few people. But when you start making up stuff and lying, that's where that gets up my nose. And the majority of time, I don't bother with anything that the majority of stuff on social media and the webs and reels and all of that stuff. But every once in a while, it'll pop up and it'll be like, you know what, I got to give my 2 cents, And I think that's what retired people do. We are at an age and a time in our life where we have the time to give our 2 cents and maybe share some insights. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk about this right here. Here is a guy, Warrior Wellness Movement. This guy, I guess he's from England and he does this video and it's got a bunch of views on it. 1.8 million views, apparently, I guess. I don't know. But basically what he's doing is he's talking about, and I can attest to this, is that back in the day, like my grandparents' day, that once you hit 40 and 50, it's like, oh, well, life is pretty much over. You hit 60 and it's like, oh, you're just kind of relegated to sitting in your chair and drinking your tea and really not doing much at all. And you put yourself into the grave sooner because you didn't exercise. So let's just take a look in we'll see what this guy says.
I'm in my 40s. I'm not 80, I'm not 90, and I think people just get to like their 40s and their 50s and they go, oh, just acceptance, I'm old. You're 40, mate, you're 40.
So basically what he's saying is, and if you go down here, it ends up that the message is that being 40, being 50, being 60 or 70, now you might say 70 is getting old, but we've got people, President Carter just died and he was like 100 years old. But he stayed really active. And studies have shown that if you are active in your old age and you do resistance training and cardio training, you can tap into the health and longevity benefits of working out. So with that, I left my little thing here, as did a bunch of other people. A ton of people left pictures and their little 2 cents. I said, over here, I'm 58 and feeling great. And actually eat, lift, rest, and repeat. That's kind of the thing. It's one of the priorities of my life is to stay physically fit because of the numerous benefits. But unfortunately, we're going to take a look at what this Yahoo says. And let's see, how's this turn out? Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. So this guy, Michael Prestige, he says, so you spent 5 years of your life in a gym, nothing to get excited about, means nothing, it's a choice you make. Everyone has their own life. As I got older, I stopped and thought, WTF am I doing? Lifting an effing weight. How boring. Done it for 20 plus years now. Will never bother again. I understand why people do, but it's getting like religion. All the gym goers shove it in your face, making out it's the only way in life when intact. In fact, it's definitely not. Thank God he threw out a period after all of that. You know, you need to work on your grammar there, bud. Michael. Yeah, periods allow you to breathe, and I'm glad you finally put one in there. Some people's time is spent a lot better elsewhere. I replied, and it's interesting. Here's what I ended up saying is, love people who are adversarial and say they quit going to the gym because it's boring. Okay, so why even comment on a post that is about training? Really, when you think about it, it's like, you know, why are you commenting on a post about an activity that you quit, that you feel isn't necessary to do anymore? And we'll dive a little bit further into this. So why? You just trolling for what reason? Seems kind of odd to me. And think about this. There's such a disconnect in social media that if we applied what we do in social media in the real world, you would be considered a wacko. Think about it. Let's say we've got a group of people and we're all talking about cars. And we're talking about cars and we're talking about fast cars, electric cars, whatever it is. It's all just about cars. And then somebody steps up to the group of people that we're in, steps in the middle and says, oh, I think this is all bullshit. I quit doing that years ago, and I don't understand, you know, what the appeal is. I've found so many better things to do in life than talk about cars. And then everybody that would be in that group would be like, who's this nut job? Who invited him in? I mean, I know we're out in public and people come and go, but yeah, that's considered rude. You wouldn't do that in real life, and the people that do that in real life are kind of a little bit wacko there. So yeah, it seems kind of odd. And here's where I get into some information of truth. By the way, I never said it was the only way in life, and I've been doing it for longer than 5 years. My life is not fully encompassed by just going to the gym. I go to the gym a lot. I go 3 days a week, and I'm thinking about upping it to 4 days a week. But I've even gone as minimal as 2 days a week, and there's been times where I just don't go to the gym at all. But now as I'm retired and as I have gotten older over the years, I see the importance and the benefits of working out, of resistance and cardio training. So I've been doing it longer than 5 years. You know, I started physical fitness training when I was in high school, actually middle school, junior high, high school. Joined the Army at 17, and yeah, it was PT, physical training, you know, road march, hikes, runs, rope climbs, the obstacle courses, the whole 9 yards, and also lifting weights and doing circuit training, body weight exercises, using free weights, machines, the whole 9 yards, log carries, just all kinds of crazy stuff. But it definitely made me a better person. Okay. Also, I don't shove it in anyone's face. In other words, if there's a group of people talking about, I don't know, cars, I don't jump in there and say, you know, oh, you all need to exercise and you need to do resistance training, and this car business that you're talking about is total BS, and there's nothing better than working out and going to the gym. Yeah, I've never, ever done that. And if I did, I would be a wacko. So I don't shove it in anybody's face. I don't force people to go to the gym. I can make recommendations on why and point to the benefits of why it's good to go to the gym and exercise and do cardio. But I'm not going to shove it in anybody's face like some people shove religion down people's faces, or, you know, ideology or political whatever. I like things that have demonstrated benefits that are tangible, and present those things and say, well, here's all the benefits with a minimal amount of time, and it's good for health and longevity. So what you want to do with that, that's up to you. But I don't shove it into people's faces. But if people ask me, I'll share the information. So I just thought it was kind of funny that he's making up, that I wasted 5 years, 5 years of my life. No, it's been way longer than 5 years. I pretty much lifted weights, throughout my military career, which I did, and afterwards. So not sure why you feel the need to say those things that are not true, or how you even came to those conclusions. The only thing I can guess is there's some type of projection going on, where projection is where you say something that reflects of what's going on in your life, and that the thing that you're railing against is something that is causing you guilt, or you're going through something. It's kind of along those lines. So, it's called projection. Look it up. As for saying nothing to get excited about and means nothing is very lacking in my opinion, because really, there are some great things that come with working out. And we'll go over some of those things. Working out has been shown to increase the quality of life and allows for people to live longer. There is tons of studies that have shown this. People live more active lives. They have a better quality of life as they get older. So in other words, I'm retired. I retired early at 53, 54, and I'm 58 now. And it gives me a better quality of life so I can enjoy my retirement longer. I don't know. Resistance training preserves and improves bone density, which is something that seniors face. Independence and vitality with age. It also reduces the risks of osteoporosis, prevents and reverses sarcopenia, which is muscle wasting as people get older. Of course, a big component of that is nutrition as well. So it's not just going to the gym. It's what you put into your body, and also getting enough sleep, rest, and recovery, along with signs and symptoms of numerous chronic diseases such as heart disease and so on and so forth, which is interesting because there are studies that have showed that cardio, when you do 75 minutes to 150 minutes of cardio a week, of elevated cardio, that can reduce your heart issues like heart attack, stroke, and so on and so forth, up to 50%. So that's kind of a huge thing. So I'm going to take advantage of that. It also helps with our arthritis, type 2 diabetes, because again, nutrition and exercise help with that. It also improves sleep, reduces depression, and actually has been shown to improve cognitive abilities. And I will go even a step further and talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Thank you, Uncle Sam, for the PTSD, is that it helps minimize some of the problems of those people who have PTSD, and I can personally attest to that, as thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people can as well. So one study showed that resistance training can increase life expectancy by 10 to 17% with just 30 to 60 minutes per week. So we're not talking about going to the gym 6-7 days a week, putting in 4, 5, 6 hours a day, something like Mr. Olympia or whatever. Miss Olympia competitions. We're not talking about that. We're talking about doing 30 to 60 minutes per week. Doctors recommend, 3 to 5 times a week, with resistance training and cardio training, because the heart health and all of that. There's a lot of other benefits that we can get into, but basically I told this guy, it actually does mean a lot. So, but again, you think it's boring. You think it's boring, and so you have better things to do with your time. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But you just think it's boring, and so you quit. If you quit, just quit. You don't have to make up excuses or lie or say that I did something that I didn't do to make you feel good about quitting, or railing against the people who still go to the gym and don't really care if you quit. I'm a little concerned because you're throwing away a lot of benefits, but you're a grown-ass man, I'm assuming, and that's your choice, so you got to live with your choices, and that's pretty much all I can do. Show you the benefits, and if you don't want to do it, you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to go to sleep in about 30 seconds as soon as my head hits the pillow, regardless of what you do. But going back to the boring thing, I said, if we use your logic, eating is boring. So why do you keep eating? Why? Eating is so boring. Why do you brush your teeth? Why do you comb your hair? Why do you do personal hygiene? All of that is so boring. I don't understand. So why not stop all that craziness of all the boring things that you have to do in life? It doesn't make sense. And do something better. And what is better? That's the other thing, is you don't actually say what is better. Anyway, what other activity have you found that gives all the above benefits that replaces going to the gym and working out? I would love to find out what that is, because yes, sometimes, and I have to admit, because it's reality and it's true, the gym does get boring. Lifting weights gets boring. And there's times where I don't want to go to the gym. There's times where I really, really don't want to go to the gym, where I'm depressed, my PTSD acts up, I'm just feeling mad and pissed off the world and everybody in it for no reason. Well, there's reasons. Things that I'll never be able to get over. But every time I go to the gym, I have never gone to the gym and not felt better with my depression and PTSD. But so I make it a habit to do those things, like brushing my teeth, good proper hygiene, so I don't smell like a orc, and go to the gym. I do all those things because those are a priority, and the benefits far outweigh the boringness of all of those things. And but apparently going to the gym is boring for this guy. He doesn't see any benefit. There's no big whoop-de-doo, and really, it's sometimes there is a big whoop-de-doo when you go to the gym. When you get a new PR, or you look good, or you see a vein popping out on your arm that you never saw before, you see some muscle striations on your chest, or you beat a time that you tried to do and you finally reach that goal. There's times when there's a great amount of exciting things that happen, but the majority of the time it's putting in the work, and yes, it can be boring. But that's why they have books on tape, or for the old people out there. That's why you've got podcasts. That's why you got micro learning. That's why you can you can watch TV shows as you're doing your cardio or whatever it is. You can attend college classes as you're exercising. So yeah, you can kind of do that multitask thing. If you find the gym boring and found better things to do, that's great. Even if you ignore all of the benefits, I don't really care, but don't twist it around as if the gym goers are bad and you are superior for doing something a lot better while ignoring all the health benefits of resistance training. That's just ignorant. In my opinion. In my opinion, a more balanced approach to life is needed so one can reap the different benefits of all the different areas and activities in their lives. In my opinion, longevity and health is an important priority, but if you don't feel that way, that's totally fine. That's up to you. You make your bed, you lie in it. I know people that never exercise, and we are still good friends. They never go on social media or, I gotta sneeze. Watermelon. Excuse me, sometimes you say watermelon, it helps. Don't ask me why. But those people that never exercise, who I am friends with, they don't do stuff like this guy, like Michael does, and say, oh, well, it's worthless and it's not blah, 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 just bumping his gums. And it's like, I don't rail against you for not going to the gym, and that's not really a thing because it's not your thing, so I don't shove it in your face. Why? I don't know, maybe because I'm a mature and civil adult. Yeah, that's it. Next time you want to quit something, there's no need to lie or ignore the benefits of the thing that you quit. Just quit and stop making excuses and demoralizing people who are still working out to try to make yourself feel better because of the boring gym and, there's so much better things in life to do. My question is, what are these better things in life, and do these better things give you better benefits than going to the gym and working out? I'd like to know. And if I could get those benefits by not going to the gym, I would be all over that like white on rice. But I'm pretty sure it's not. But again, it doesn't matter. Again, going back to that thing I explained, if we were in a physical group of people and somebody like you came into the group and just I quit and blah blah blah, and we're, well, why are you yelling at us? Why are you bringing this up? If you don't, can't you just, even if you were in the group and you were just listening, why would you interrupt and say this? Because if you don't like working out, it's okay. You don't have to work out there, Michael. It's okay. There. It's all right. You don't need to give us made up reasons and lies and demonize people to, there you go, Michael. You don't need to do that. Just say that you don't want to do it. And people are mature and adult, at least those of us who are mature and adult and civil, will recognize that and say, hey, that's totally fine. He said he did this for like 20 years. And I really want to put periods and commas in here for this to make sense. How boring. Done it for 20 plus years. Now will never bother again. I understand why people do, but it's getting like religion. You did it for 20 plus years. Okay. How long have you been brushing your teeth? How long have you been washing your ass and putting deodorant on and doing all those things that are, i.e., boring? Why haven't you stopped those things? I don't get it. Again, flipping the logic on itself, we see that this just really fails. And yeah, it's not exciting. It's eat, lift, and repeat. That's what it is. Eat, lift, rest, repeat, whatever order that you want to do that in. And that's what it is, and it is sometimes boring. But the benefits far outweigh the boringness of it. And for me, and I'm just speaking on me, that's the reason why I keep doing it. That's the reason why my wife does it. That's the way everybody in my family does it, because of the benefits. I don't want to be the type of senior that I've had in my family past, with grandparents and great-grandparents, to where they hit 50, mid-50s, and just, their exercise went from working out, and then they retired, and then they just mowed the lawn and cleaned the pool, and then they just sat down, and eventually it's just like they sit there and they do nothing. And they just go like, I sit here and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger and fatter. And they have mental problems, they have health problems, they have osteoporosis, which, elder people do have that. And if you don't exercise, it becomes a problem, not to mention the heart disease and all of those issues. I've seen it firsthand in my family and other family, where if you don't exercise, it's going to take a toll on your health and longevity. Now, maybe you don't care about living long. Maybe you don't care about the quality of life when it comes to being a senior in your later years. That's okay. If you want to ignore all those things, you're free to do that. You are your own man. And what you do is going to be on you. You made the bed, now you're going to lie in it. But the thing is that as you get later in life and you suffer that heart attack and stroke, excuse me, yeah, it's kind of hard to say I shoulda, coulda, woulda. So many people do that. And I should have done this, I could have done this, I would have done this if I had been in better health. I would have, enjoyed my retirement longer and with family and so on and so forth. But no, I wanted to quit, But that's in my mind. That's my perspective. But the truth is there's a ton of benefits. And, it's like religion. All the gym goers shove it in your face. All the gym goers. All of them? All of them. All of them. I don't know, stereotype much? Yeah, the majority of people that I know, and I've worked out in multiple states in the United States. I've worked out in Korea, worked out in Japan, I worked out in Hawaii, Thailand. People go because of the reasons, whatever those reasons are, and they feel the benefit and the need. And so sometimes it's boring, but they keep doing it. I've never seen anybody shove it in my face It's getting like religion. You know, and honestly, I don't see a lot of religions shoving it in my face either for their religions, whether they're Muslim, Christian, or Protestant, or Catholic, or whatever it is, or some wacko, whether a pagan, druid, whatever, which thing, I don't know, Satanist. I've had discussions with all those people, and none of those people have shoved it in my face. I've had religious discussions with people, and they're always going to have some nut jobs that will try to shove it down your face, but thank God that that's like only 1 or 2% of everybody. So when you say all gym goers shove it in your face, well, I don't do that. I guarantee you my wife doesn't do that. My wife doesn't talk to anybody but me when we go to the gym. My daughter doesn't do that. There's a number of people that I know that go to the gym. It's like, hey, when I go to the gym, I don't want to talk to anybody because that's me time. So they don't shove it down. They don't care because they're mature civil adults that are like, they've gotten to an age or a maturity level to where they're like, you know what? I'm doing this for me. I don't care what you think. That's it. Now, if you have questions, I'll be glad to share, but I'm not going to jump into a random group of people and shove it in their face that they need to go to the gym or do A, B, and C or X, Y, and Z, because that's rude and you would be a wacko. So yeah, that's what we got going on. It's just absolutely crazy stuff that we got when we're talking about excuses. Exposing the truth behind quitting. If you want to quit, just quit. Don't make excuses for quitting. Don't make up lies for quitting. Don't, try to make it like, I met Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and so I have attained this level of self-actualization that I no longer need to do the gym because I found such better things in life to do. What is it, like feeding the homeless, clothing the naked, doing prison ministry? I mean, what is it that you found that is so much better? And if that's your priority and you want to do it, I'm totally fine with it. Go do it. But why would you throw yourself into a discussion that is purely about training and not getting past that mindset of as we get old, we shouldn't be, I'm done. I hit 50, so it's all downhill from here. No, that can be the beginning. And so, yeah, I just thought it was kind of crazy that this guy pops up and says, it's a waste of time. There's no benefits. I've done better things. But I get this a lot. The people that rail the longest and the loudest about quitting or not doing the gym are the people that really haven't found anything. And that's proof because they never say what those better things are. And they'll totally ignore all the benefits we're working out. But maybe that's their thing. Maybe that's how they want to live their life, and that gives them some weird sense of something. I don't know. It's not my life, and I think that would be miserable in my opinion. But yeah, when you have to start making up lies about me or other people, making generalizations about all gym goers, shove it in your face. No, that's not the case. Yeah, it's totally. You can see the lies, and you can see that just someone is just a little off of center, and they're starting to make up shit to try to make them justify why they quit and to feel good about it, which is something that, unfortunately, here in America and other places, we've come to a time where it's easier to accept lies and throw accusations out against people than just say, you know what, I quit. But let's take it even a step further. If you quit, and you think that all gym goers are worthless and they shove it in your face, then why are you going to a gym and workout reel on social media? In other words, it's a waste. You said it's basically a waste of time. It's boring. Nothing to get excited about is what you said. So what, interesting. It means nothing. Everyone has their own life. I stopped and I thought, what am I doing this for? It's boring, blah, blah, blah. All gym goers shove it in your face. Then why are you wasting time railing against it? That makes no sense. That logic doesn't flow. Because if you quit doing this thing, why are you coming back and trolling? It's kind of like people, I never understood it. You know, I don't know what people's belief in God or higher deity or presence or power or whatever there is. But if you don't believe in something, I'm not going to get wrapped around the axle because you don't believe in something. I'm not going to waste my time with something. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, this is a waste of time taking you away from doing the thing that you think is better and has more benefits in life, things which you don't put into words of what those things are. So it just seems like a waste of time. It's kind of like atheists that, and I know a lot of good atheists. Atheists are good moral people, but there are crazy atheists out there as well. And the people that will, oh, you believe in the flying spaghetti monster and you believe in this and that. And they just spend an inordinate amount of time focusing on people who do believe. And it's like, why are you wasting this time if you don't believe it? Who cares if I believe or don't believe? Why are you wasting the time? That, in my mind, tells the whole story. It's like if you are truly at peace with saying you don't believe, then there is no need to waste time on me or anybody else who believes in A, B, C, D, or X, Y, and Z. It's not logical. So again, Michael Prestige or whatever fails to come into that. Logic doesn't fly with what he puts out there. So yeah, absolutely crazy. And yeah, of course he's got his little Facebook page there, and it's one of those that doesn't have pictures, doesn't have anything, no photos except for something that's not even him, obviously. No work, no contact information. Yeah, he says he's married, but that's about it. Doesn't say who he's married to, friends, photos, no photos. Check-ins, where does he check into? But yet, this guy who says, this is funny. So the guy that says that it means nothing, what does he end up doing? What are some of the pages that he follows? Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall. So yeah, that's kind of weird. It's just videos. Does he have any videos? Of course not. Sports. Oh, yeah, he follows those sports, the things that are useless. Let's see, what else is it? Nope. Pretty much nothing. I mean, yeah. It's just one of those people who's a quitter and somebody who just can't feel good about themselves. And so what they end up doing is railing against the thing that they quit and the people that are still doing the thing that they quit to try to make them feel better about quitting by putting other people down who are doing the thing that he quit, that has so many health and medical and mental benefits. Yeah, that makes total sense there, Michael. Okay. So anyway, if you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. If you want to buy a coffee, there's a link in the description box down below. And yeah, if you want to be a quitter, quit. Just, there's no need to rail about it. It doesn't make sense. And the logic doesn't flow and it doesn't make you look good. You definitely would not be the type of person that I would want to have a relationship. Whether it's, even if we didn't even talk about fitness, I already know that I would not want to, hang around with you, Michael. So thank God. So we will see you on the next video. Peace. Oh, no benefits.